Welcome back. This is session 12 of the Pillars of Eternity Lorethrough. It is still June 4th, 2023. Recording this directly after the last session because I'm trying to keep sessions that is, under an hour. I'm just kind of breaking them up here, so hopefully that is understandable to everybody. We are now in the crypt of Raedric's hold. We ran into a prisoner who told us about, I want to say Osrid. I forget the animancer's name down here that is turning the people who tried to attack Raedric's hold into vessels, revenants, skeletons, ghouls, that kind of thing. So yeah, let's get started here. Also, we keep getting hit by traps, so I'm assuming one of these will be trapped. Endurance has not found it yet. Nice. Wish I had some meat. I could get some savory pie and get my perception up. But I have not found any meat, so this goes to the keep kitchen. This looks like a laboratory. We have a ghoul, a revenant, and now a skeleton. Oh well.
That's it.
So not the laboratory, but that's okay. Did pretty well there. The tank is warm to the touch. The glass vibrates with the bubbling fluid inside. Blood and flecks of dried flesh encrust the restraints.
All right then.
How much gold do I have? Can I do something good in the stronghold? Yes, it looks like I can. So let's build these towers. And that way I get my perception bonus that I want when I rest at Bright Hollow too. Rest at Bright Hollow. Yeah. So that revenant has a green circle underneath, which means I think that this is going to be Osrid's little laboratory here. So let's go there a little bit later. Goes to the lower ramparts. That's where we came from, the temple chantry. Trying to get through the door. It's okay, it looks like these oozes aren't able to do it either. Some Adra. Looks like over here is where we should be going right now. This is the laboratory. Yeah, let's go over here. Can walk in this water. Oh, these traps. This is to the moat. Let's see where that goes, I think. That might be outside, but I'm definitely going to save before we go through that door.
That's settled.
Please don't be trapped. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm going to... I don't really know how this works. I wonder if the only reason we can tell that guy that it's clear and he can go is because we have cleared it out. Like, would we be able to say that if we hadn't cleared it out? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. So let's see. You're free. Make a run for it. Thank you, stranger. I have to get back to the fork, but first find food and rest, I think. He hesitates. If you would dare the upper floors, please tell Nedmar I live yet. Tell him I still have the carving he gave me of the pale knight. That should convince him, and perhaps he can help you somehow. So we'll have to look for someone named Nedmar, who is friends with this Jocko person. Good luck, and may the gods keep you safe. Let's see if we get a update to our quest here. I have released Jocko from his cell. Okay. Alright, so the last thing we need to do is go in here. Let's take a rest. Yeah.
You know, there are accounts of watchers in all of the regions I've visited. If the adventuring life doesn't work out for you, you could always read souls for coin, give people advice, tell them which family they're related to and whom they should duel for past offenses.
I'll keep that in mind. Probably safer than fighting off beasts, Kana chuckles. And you get just as much drama out of it. The little side conversations, I think. Just to flesh out the characters. It's interesting. Alright, Osrid. Austria, not Osrid, Austria. A woman caught mid-step across the room turns her head to face you. Long curls of black hair frame her face, one side of which is flecked with some green liquid. The gaze she sets upon you holds an eerie intensity. More interruptions. The woman sets down the book she holds, smiling faintly. What an interesting time we've been having of late. So many uninvited guests. I suppose I have you to thank for all the damage to my work. It took time to get those people back on their feet, you know. Austria frowns. What is it you're doing here? In other words, she is responsible for all these undead here. So with my perception, I can say that Lord Raedric sent me to check on your progress. I don't really want to let her go. She's doing some pretty nasty things, so I don't know if this is just a stealth option or if it's just an opportunity for me to find things out, but let's say that. Austria regards you coldly for a long moment. At last, she throws her arms up in the air in frustration. Of course he did. I thought I'd have a few days at least before he resumed his growling. If Lord Raedric wishes to see swifter progress, then perhaps he might deign to provide the materials I need. Does he think he is the only one growing impatient? I am gifted with this, she gestures to the room, pitiful little laboratory, and he expects miracles. And meanwhile, that old wretch, that useless priest, has the whole of the upper keep to himself. What does he provide? Superstition and useless advice. She lets out an angry gust of air. Very well, then. Look upon my progress. I have made what use of Kolsch's filthy cohorts I was able. Tell Raedric I will have more useful information for him once I've been given adequate time for study, she snorts. If you're lucky, he won't hang you in my place. This is the first time, I think, that I don't think this person should live. The Glenfathan Soul Hunter leaves the stronghold. Do move along. Raedric's demanding follow, and I have much to do. I think I want to attack her. I think she deserves it. I don't know if this is the right cause, but taking these men and turning them into this is pretty heinous. Time will tell if that was the right decision. Just got some spells here. I have a rusted iron cell key. It's probably the key I needed to free Jocko. Stealing, but from a dead person. No one's going to catch me. The Deerwood Part 6, Saints' War and Widewind's Legacy. So obviously not going to read that yet. I want to read them in order, and if we've only read the first two, we only have access to the first two, but definitely going to put this one on the list. Alright, got it on my list.
Alright then.
Okay, Austria is dead. This goes to the Keep Kitchen. This goes to the Temple Chantry, to Moat, and to the lower ramparts. Let's go to the kitchen. Don't want to forget to put the robes on. Put the sexy, sexy robes on. I think this one goes back up to the Temple Chantry. Nope. Okay, so.
That's it!
Okay. So I'm here. Let's go back up to this one first, because I think the chances up here where the robes work. A couple reasons. I want to see if they still work now that I've killed a couple guards inside the keep, and also because I'd rather do that part first. Yes, so I was right about that. To the siege platform, into the dungeon crypts. I've already been there, obviously. That's to the keep kitchen, and that's to the upper ramparts. That's where we came from originally. So, do these disguises still work? Yes, they do. Okay. So where should I go? What's at this siege platform? Guessing these robes won't work up here. If there is anybody up here, which I'm kind of surprised there's not. Froghelm, Moonstone. Have we read Moonstone? Moonstone derives its name from the moonlight like luster, and is sometimes collected by Andra's gift bearers, who associate the stone's presence in the world with the legends of Andra's love affair with the moon. So yeah, the story of Andra and her love affair with the moon. Andra is the goddess of the sea. We'll probably get into that when we speak a little bit more about Andra. Actually, we may have done that already now that I'm thinking about it, and Slog's Compass. Potion of Iron Skin. So wow, there is no enemies in the siege platform. Where to next? Should I go back down to the kitchen? Yes. The roast goat smells only faintly of smoke and burnt fat. Hunks of meat have been carved from the cold carcass. Well, I wish I could have that meat. Raedric guard. Someone's screaming alarm. I wonder if that matters.
Leave it to me.
I wonder what that archer is doing in the midst of everything right there.
Of course.
Silver forks and knives are gnawed with tarnish. Gnawed with tarnish. Okay. should I do here? Should I do this or should I... Yeah, I'll do this. See if I can frighten everybody here. Aloth is not doing well. Can I cure him?
Just like an adherent to the
Oh, Aloth fell.
Not getting through.
Okay, not an easy fight, but it is a done fight.
All right then.
We have a spellwrite and a sellsword. Should look through those grimoires at some point.
Of course.
The joints are fringed with rust. The emblem on the breastplate is of a tree with broad, heart-shaped leaves. So this is to the courtyard. Probably don't want to go out there. Same thing. Gotta find Pike. I cannot lockpick this. Okay. Actually, I wonder if I have the key for that.
A simple test.
Okay. There's someone else up there who didn't come down to fight.
Leave it to me.
Ooh, Tamaka's down. Does Itamaka get... No. Okay. Sagani just has some decreased stats when Itamaka's down, but Itamaka doesn't actually have any kind of wound or anything after going down. Have a priestess and a sellsword.
Leave it to me!
Do still have one camping supply.
What?
Where's this field triage? I feel like that's something I can do with him. Oh well.
All right then.
Potion of mirrored image. Under the pillow is a wooden medallion carved with a rising sun and 3 stars. It's tied to a leather thong. I wonder what that is. Wooden medallion carved with a rising sun and 3 stars. Sounds like a dawn stars. Wonder if this guy was worshipping Aethys secretly or something, maybe? Okay, coming in here, probably gonna get attacked. Spellwright and the Paladin. Okay, so I think this Spellwright needs to go down first. Spellwright down. Who's next? Ooh, there's 2 paladins here, man. Oof, Durance is down.
Looks like Durance's flame just went out.
Nope.
Settle!
Join arms!
Ooh, is Durance dead? Can't do anything. Jesus, not going well.
Can't get a good shot with this.
It's like Sagani maybe isn't able to hit that paladin.
Can't get a good shot with this.
Yeah, these paladins are tough. Oh.
For Aethys!
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so they get up. Whew, that was a tough one.
Of course.
Ugh, I didn't want to give all that to Aloth. Is it shift? Yeah, it is. Okay. Alright. Definitely need to take a rest here. Looking much healthier.
I can do that.
Okay, so we got some books here. Let's see how much of it is stuff we haven't read yet. We need to take some notes down. We have St. Widwin, Farmer Become God. Have you read that one? We have not. So let's take this one down. We have the Deerwood Part 4. Very nice. So we've read 1 and 2. We have 6. We have not read 4 yet. So I'm going to take a note of that. Grab that one. Same thing as the others. Ooh, got something secret there.
Over there.
Nasatak Poetry, a compilation. That might be fun to read. Secret. Ah, opens a secret passage. Very nice. This goes to the dungeon laboratory. Really? Yeah, interesting. I wonder... Yeah. There's probably some switch that I missed somewhere. True Stories from the Living Lands. I don't think we've read that one yet.
A simple test. That's settled.
Ooh, Healing Hands. Minor Spellbind. Restore late endurance. Don't think Garter has gloves. He does. Or up dexterity, so I don't want that one. Maybe I'll give that one to a deer then. Dusty old ledgers record the taxes paid on farmsteads in Gilded Vale as far back as 2063. Right now it is 2823. Wow. It's like 160 years. Whoa. Blood still wet runs from the woman's slit throat, soaking into the sheets below. Who's that? There's a trap triggered, but it didn't seem to do anything. A ring of overseeing? Is that the... Yes. Blackened pages curl in the fire. A leather cover embossed with rising sun and 3 stars is barely visible in the flames. Burning book on the Dawn Stars? Yeah, so that person in the barracks must have been worshipping Gon or Aethys, which is kind of the same secretly. Okay, so I can just talk to these guys. Alright. Raedric. Let him approach. Flanked by a host of guards, all of whom regard you with a mute hostility, Lord Raedric VII observes you from his throne, clad in ornate plate. His eyes have a hollow quality, and there is a pallor to the man's gaunt face that leaves his features showing stark against his dark and unkempt hair. He's in that classic king pose, slouching in his chair. There's a dagger discarded upon one stone arm of the throne. A thin, crimson rivulet worms its way down from the blade and past Raedric's fingers, even as he leans forward to regard you with a piercing gaze, hinting that he is responsible for the death of the woman in the other room. Thought he'd be better looking, even with all the inbreeding, Ydir says. Though his face is calm, you notice Adair's hand straying toward his weapon as though with a mind of its own. It seems I have you to thank for the chaos spreading through my keep. I half expected some invading army, says Raedric.
It is unlike Kolsch to hire mercenaries, or foreigners for that matter. And you are not one of mine, so I cannot accuse you of treason.
Says he smiles grimly, flashing white teeth. His fingers close loosely around the pommel of a dagger as if to ascertain if it is still there, and then flinch away. So he thinks we were hired by Kolsch. Perhaps he ought to have considered such tactics sooner. You've made short work of my guards. His eyes narrow. They were good and loyal servants, loyal to my coin, if not to me. They deserved a better fate than you gave them.
What has my cousin promised you? Some grand reward? If he had any resources to his name, he would not covet mine. And if he had any honor in him, he would not have tried this here, now, when I have lost so much.
Point to the dagger. What happened there?
A just sentence.
Raedric turns his head slightly to regard the dagger. There is a sudden, careful stillness in his expression. His voice wavers, and in that moment of a pang of grief crosses his face. So, just, it's kind of a guess here, but also, I kind of remember this from before. That woman in the other room is Raedric's wife, who had the hollow-born child, and he considered, he killed her because she had that child. Quick note here, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but my dog has been making noise for the last couple minutes. Every once in a while, she just gets up and starts walking around and shaking and scratching, and kind of annoying, so I apologize if you can hear that. Okay. Ygritte knew. She hid the verses from me, the tokens. She knew what I would make of them. The scattered god poisoned her against me, made her deaf to my instruction. The scattered god. Who's that? Only when our son was born, that hollow thing, that monster, then we both knew what her crimes had wrought. Raedric turns a baleful look upon you, jaw working, face flushed and splotchy with emotion. It could not stand. He brings a hand suddenly toward his temple, obscuring his face. What does Kolsch know of sacrifice? He would indulge himself, let us succumb one by one, and suffer Bareth's punishment until the final soul goes to its keeping, never to return, and Gilded Vale is but a barren land. Yep, there we go. You murdered your own wife? Your child? I carried out the sentence. Would you have me give her to an executioner? In the Deerwood, we see to our own justice. Raedric sits back in his throne, his knuckles white upon the armrest. And that thing, that silent aberration, that was not alive to kill. His dark eyes narrow. Keep your recriminations, trespasser. I have done my duty. Gilded Vale has suffered under your rule. It deserves a better leader. Raedric makes a low, huffing noise of disbelief. And you think Kolsch is that leader? What does he understand of what it means to be a Thane? He has gathered a meager assembly of illiterate farmers and scavengers to himself and sends these in suicidal action against my guards.
You are a pawn in Kolsch's designs, and he has kept his motivations from you for a reason. I wonder if you understand what it is you do, or what you might accomplish if you were better informed.
Suggesting that Kolsch isn't such a great leader himself. Not that Raedric is. He's not saying that he is. He's just saying that Kolsch is not either.
You have proven your competence in your way. And had I such an ally, we might together put an end to Gilded Vale's woes, lift the curse once and for all, and in doing so, return us to a life where such strict measures are not necessary.
What has happened to Gilded Vale? The legacy, Raedric breathes. Shortly after the death of the scattered god, Widewind's legacy fell upon our lands, so he refers to Aethys as the scattered god. He shakes his head, and despair came with it. How could it not, when the curse took our children, our hope from us? I knew that Bareth would not allow such cruelties, not unless we had lost his favor. Some in the village cling to a false faith, worshipping the dead god. They revere him in secret, even knowing what it brings upon us, and we saw evidence of that in the barracks. My own wife, she continued her heresies against my wishes, and when our child was born, we saw that no sin remains unrevealed. His jaw works. No man is free from Bareth's judgment. No woman. So, in the other room, he killed his wife, but also because he found out that she had been worshipping Aethys in secret, which is why that book was in the fire. This all just happened too. Raedric looks at the dagger resting on the throne. I will do what I must to ensure that we do not stray again from the path, but it has taken time to root out the last of these cultists within our village. Time Kolsch used to gather his forces. Kolsch is your cousin.
Oh yes, we are kin, he and I. He was raised within these walls, in fact, privy to all the privileges our family had to offer. But a greedy man always hungers after more than he receives, however bountiful. I was eldest, heir to the stewardship of our lands, and he was not.
Suggesting Kolsch is just jealous of him. The legacy brought chaos with it, panic and despair. Kolsch took advantage of that chaos, creating division in our ranks, luring loyal men and women to his cause. Good men, good women. Raedric's gaze goes distant for a moment, and then he glances at you. His lip curls. He fled the keep in time to hole up in the wilds beyond the village, to play at being commoner and court favor with the people. Okay, so the suggestion here is that Kolsch is just jealous of Raedric, and always wanted to be ruler, and has been using Widewind's legacy to take favor away from Raedric and restore and give it to him, Kolsch. But we've seen Raedric's rules. We've seen what he does. I don't know enough about Kolsch to say that he would be a good ruler, but I think we do know that Raedric is probably a little bit disillusioned here. I don't think we can trust his view on things. I think that he thinks he's the rightful ruler. His hand has been forced because of Widewind's legacy, and he just thinks that anybody else who wants to be the ruler is just jealous of him. And while he plays at conqueror, the Vale suffers. Families, traders, all. I do not have enough men to guard the roads and defend us from Kolsch's incursions, both. My attention suffers, and so my governance, my family. Raedric breathes out through his nose. Nor can I make the effort necessary to bring about an end to this curse. We are beset at all hours by this traitorous plots. So here he is using the very common leader / ruler excuse that the rebellion is in the wrong because he has to defend against the rebellion and help the people, when the rebellion seems more because of the things that he was doing in the first place. So definitely misguided there. I don't know if he actually believes the things he's saying or not, though. Ask him, what has he lost?
There is a plague among us here in Gilded Vale. The legacy is but part of it. The rest is fear, heresy, perversion. Each incident alone is but the flicker of a candle.
Sorry about the chair.
A blaze that will destroy us.
So yeah, talking about the legacy here, and we know that he's lost a child to the legacy, so we kind of already knew the answer to that. The legacy is a test of faith. It has driven many to madness. They cling to hollow promises, to dark and terrible things. Each lie permitted feeds the fire. Every whisper from preening charlatans and venom-tongued midwives, the words of false prophets, the promises of dead gods.
The flame consumed her, my Ygritte, and our child with it.
Now he's blaming the legacy for the death of his wife, which is, he's responsible for that. I wouldn't talk of honor if I were you. I saw the body upon your bed. Kind of weird to say that now, but I do want to see how he reacts. Raedric's face darkens with sudden fury. You do not know what you speak of, the blasphemies that fell from her lips, the dead things she brought into the world as a result. So he's blaming her worship of Aethys on her having a hollowborn child. Gilded Vale's laws hold true for all within my lands. None can be exempt. Ygritte received a just sentence, whatever her title or worth to me, whatever the cost I bear. You speak in ignorance. Just as you have stumbled in ignorance upon my foolish cousin's plots, without understanding what is at stake. Kolsch didn't send me. Did he not? Or do you throw his name at my feet to spare yourself? Raedric sneers. He's counting on you all the same, a distraction at the least, and an able killer at best, so long as he can use your presence to his advantage. He relishes such opportunities, striking where he can from the shadows. Kolsch lacks the strength to see the matter done, Raedric motions to you, so he relies on stronger allies. Although he did attack with mercenaries who were then killed and turned into vessels in the basement there.
You are a pawn in Kolsch's designs, and he has kept his motivations from you for a reason. I wonder if you understand what it is you do, or what you might accomplish if you were better informed.
I'm going to say I would like to know more about the Raedrics. Raedrics? It is but I alone now, but the Raedric name was birthed in glory. We have been stewards of Gilded Vale for generations. Its people look to us still for guidance and protection, first from the excesses of the Empire, and now from what dangers the Deerwood holds. So he seems to be afflicted by the same thing that many rulers in these kinds of stories and times were afflicted with. Deer made mention before of incest, and it seems that he is probably the product of at least a little bit of incest himself. That's why we have been stewards of the Gilded Vale for generations, meaning that the Raedrics have been the rulers for generations, and often when you have that kind of generational ruling, then there is also incest that's happening. I've inherited that duty by my vows, by my title. So long as I am Thane, I will permit no threat against our lands, be they mortal or spiritual in nature. You really are mad if you think I'd work with you.
So be it. May the twinned god take pity upon your splintered soul, and scatter it to the winds.
Okay, so that probably means we're going to fight. Okay, what do we got here? You have an archmage, bodyguard, Paladin of Bareth, a Champion of Bareth. This is going to be tough. Archer, Favorite of Bareth, and Raedric. I think the first thing we need to do is take out anyone that's casting spells. No, let's not do that. How do I cancel? Yeah, okay. Okay. Yikes.
Stop us!
It's Raedric, Champion, Paladin, Champion. Okay, so we have the tough ones left.
Get a good shot at this.
Who's healing him? Champions can cast Lay on Hands. I think this is probably be a good time to learn how to use some potions. Nope, can't do it now. My goodness. Okay, this is not going well. They're healing themselves faster than I can hurt them. Okay. Okay. So we have a choice here. So let's go out to this courtyard. Going the long way, I guess. Because I can't unlock those doors there. Okay. Okay, he attacked right away. Raedric guard, paladin, paladin.
Can't get a good shot at this.
Mike. These paladins are very difficult. And there's 3 of them here. Fights here are no joke. Which makes sense. We're ransacking a castle.
All right, then.
Archer, guard, Raedric guard. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Let's make our way down. Endurance is down again.
You're not getting through me. You're not getting through.
Get off!
Okay. We are in bad shape.
Of course.
We have no camping supplies. No good way to leave without probably going through a bunch of people, so rainwater twitching with tiny larvae sloshes in the barrel. I do wonder if there's a better way to do this than killing a whole bunch of people that are only getting paid. But hey. Where's that go? Little ramparts. Spirits. The air in the stable is heavy with bat dung. Well, we can leave. I guess let's break immersion a little bit and go rest somewhere, because this is not looking good. Actually, we'll stop this session here. I feel like it might be a little over an hour at this point, and pick up next session. I believe session 13. We'll go rest, and I might rest off camera, and then come back and attempt to fight Raedric again. But that may have to wait till much later in the playthrough. We'll see. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. This was a little of a less lore-heavy session, although we did pick up a bunch of books that we haven't read yet, and more combat-heavy section. You got to see me get my ass kicked a whole bunch, so hope that was fun for you. Please, as always, any engagement of any kind is great. Comments, likes, subscribes, all those kinds of YouTube things, and I will see you again in session 13. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you then.